So the condition of material existence begins with the identification with the modes of material nature, with the material body. The entry into material world in itself is not the cause of one's entanglement. Just like if a person enters the Thana, the police office, is not a criminal. But the criminal, once he enters the police office, he becomes locked up. So that's why we see that the Lord Himself, He comes to the material world, but He's not entangled. Or the pure devotees of the Lord, when they come by the arrangement of the Lord, they are not entangled in the modes of material nature. They remain free. Just like a person, a government officer who enters the jail doesn't become locked up. He can move very freely within the jail without being conditioned by the laws of the jail. So we become conditioned by material existence because of two factors. And Bhagavad Gita explains, Icha dvesha samuttena dvandva mohena bharata. Icha and dvesha. Icha means the desire to lord over the energy of the Lord. And dvesha is the envy, the envious attitude that we have towards the Lord. Why should He enjoy, not me? So these are the conditions of material existence. And this condition is very difficult to trace when we have come into contact with the material world. Anadi karama phale. Anadi karama phale means, anadi means there is no way to trace. Anadi is like there is no beginning when we come in touch with the material nature. But we are here now. So now how to become free from this condition of life? That is the whole point of human life. That is the whole point of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is the whole point of coming into association with the pure devotees of the Lord. And that opportunity to become free from the material existence is only practically available in human form of life. Though by kripa, even animals can become free, but that is very rare. But the human form of life, this human form of life is very dear to the Lord among all the species of life, because in the human form of life we are equipped with the intelligence to understand our material condition and why we are in this condition. So we have to take advantage. By the grace of the Lord, though we see that most of human beings in human societies are not interested in practicing, like we were reading in the morning after Mangalartik, that people are not interested in tapasya. They don't want to go to Mangalartik. Then they want to sleep. Sleep is very nice. Sleep, Prabhupada says, is death. Sleep is another form of death. Because death is sleep. Just like you sleep at night and you wake up in the same body and you carry on your activities. But death is that you sleep, but you don't wake up any longer in that body. You wake up in another body. You wake up in another body. You sleep for 3 months, 4 months. Prabhupada said 3 months. And then you wake up in a different womb. And you are stuck within the womb. And you suffer. You suffer. Because you have wasted your life. And Bhagavatam says that you remember in that condition, packed up in the womb of the mother, you remember 100 births. 100 births. And you are totally lost. And you pray to the Lord, my dear Lord, what have I done? I am back here. And you pray, my dear Lord, please help me. Then this life, I want to give it to you. I don't want this condition anymore because it's suffering. But then you're pushed out from the womb of the mother, and that pain of birth makes you forget. And then again, once you enter the mother's lap, she looks at you very beautiful eyes, very caring, and you receive all attention from father, mother, friends, relatives, and you forget the promise that you made to Krishna. Therefore, we become again implicated in material activities, Bhoga Aishwarya. Bhoga Aishwarya Prashaktanam Taya Parita Chetasam Vyavasayatmika Buddhi Samado Navidyate. In the mind of those who are too attached to Bhoga, sense enjoyment, and Aishwarya, opulences, material opulences, and are bewildered by such things, the resolute determination for devotional service does not take place. So this false ego, which forces us to imitate the Lord, to try to enjoy the property of the Lord, is the cause of all miseries. This identification of the self with this material body, with this bag of flesh and bones, is the cause of our miseries within this material world. And we become entangled. We become so entangled that practically we don't even want to make any effort to understand, is there anything better than this? We accept this body, though this body causes us so much miseries. We take it for granted that that's all there is. And we try to make all adjustments within this body by artificial means to improve the condition of our lives. And in this way, there is competition in this material world to come to the top, to control. In this way, this condition of material existence carries on birth after birth. So, no matter how we try to disentangle ourselves from the suffering caused by the material body, it is not possible. It is not possible. Just like a person who is locked up in a jail Though he may try to free himself, and sometimes they succeed also. But the laws of karma are very stringent. You may escape the state law or the state jail, but you cannot escape Durga. You cannot escape the material nature. Karma will always find us out, and the suffering will continue. Just like a person who somehow or other is suffering very much, whether financially or emotionally, and he cannot tolerate anymore the suffering, he commits suicide. He commits suicide and he thinks that by committing suicide I become free. But just like a person who tries to escape the jail is caught by the police, again, they give him extra time. He has to serve his time and plus extra time for the crime. It's a crime to escape the prison. It's another crime, and for that you are punished also. So we have no escape once we are stuck in this material world, once we have accepted this material body, it's an offense to the Supreme Lord. And that offense matures birth after birth without respite, without becoming free. Just like a little insect that falls into the web of the spider, the more it tries to free itself, the more it becomes. And the spider is simply sitting, waiting and then he comes and have a meal. So Maya is like that. Krishna buliya jeev anabhoga vanchakore nikatasta mayatare japatiyadore. Japatiyadore means to catch you by the neck. Just like the hunter, how they catch monkeys. Because of attachment. Actually, the monkey can easily free itself. They have this pot, they have a pot with a small neck. And inside they put some sweets, some bananas. And the pot is tied to the tree or somewhere. And the monkey is very attracted to the nice kana. And he puts his hand inside and he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up. So then the hunter comes and bang him over the head. So the monkeys, we are this monkey-like existence in this material world, that we can easily become free. Easily we can become free. If we understand why we are in this material world, that due to our attachment to this material existence, to our desire to lord over the material nature, now we are stuck with our hands in the pot. Bhagavatam gives a very nice example in the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the teaching of Uddhava, the Uddhava Gita. And it says that there was a hawk flying. It was holding a piece of meat. And the bigger hawk attacked the smaller hawk. And he was attached to his meat. Naturally, we are all attached to our properties, so-called properties. But then it was a bigger hawk. It was beating him up. Then he gave up the meat and he felt happiness. He felt happiness because the bigger hawk went for the meat. He didn't care for him. So Maya doesn't want us. Maya actually is Krishna Shakti. And Maya is very happy when the living entities become engaged in the devotional service of Krishna. Maya may test him sometime just to see his resolve. But Maya, Durga Devi, she is very kind. She's our mother. And she wants to see that we are happy. And when the devotee accepts the Supreme Personality of Godhead and devotional service to the Lord, Maya helps him very much. Therefore, Maya, Durga Devi, releases the power on the devotee. Whereas to the non-devotees, Maya is very strict. Very strict. Maya is Durga. Durga means fort. And she binds the living entity with the three modes of nature: goodness, passion, and ignorance. And gives whatever we want. But we have to pay the price. Everything has a price in this material world. Nothing is free. We see sometime a very rich man. He has so much money. And we become jealous. Oh, why him, not me? I got no money in my pocket. But we don't understand that in order to attain that money or that position, a person must have worked very hard. Very hard. So the devotees, they are not interested in any of these things because they have no desire or they have nothing to fulfill in this material world. That is the process of liberation that Srila Prabhupada states here. As confirmed in the Bhagavatam, situation in one's real constitutional position is called mukti or liberation. So what is our constitutional position? Our constitutional position is to be engaged in the devotional service of the Lord through the via media of the spiritual master, giving up this idea of trying to become happy by the acquisition of wealth and power and position. This is the constitutional position of the soul that enables us to again come to the stage of spiritual perfection in our Satchidananda Vigraha position of eternity, knowledge, and bliss. So this is what Krishna wants. Krishna wants this for us. That's why he sends his bona fide representatives, or he comes himself time to time. And he came as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to teach us how to be engaged in devotional service. And what the Lord is simply asking us is to give up the cause of our miseries. That's all. He doesn't ask us to perform austerities like the yogis or the Mayavadis. What does he want from us? Give up meat eating, gambling, illicit sex, intoxication. Chant 16 rounds. Take Krishna Prasadam. Get up for Mangalartik. Engage in devotional service of the devotees. Is that too much? Is that too much tapasya? It's not. It's actually very simple. It's very peaceful. A very peaceful life. No anxieties. No anxiety whatsoever. If we simply follow this principle given by Srila Prabhupada, then our life becomes very happy. We become very peaceful. We have no more fear of Maya. We have no fear from Durga Devi. And even though we take birth again in this material world, it will be under the direction of the Lord Himself and the spiritual master. Sometime it may happen that we may not be able to complete and we may not perfect our life before we leave this body. But Krishna says, don't be aware, don't be afraid. Arjuna asked that question to Krishna. What happened to such devotee who he is not able to complete his sadhana and he gives up his devotional service? So Krishna says, such a person depends on the desire he had when he passed away. He may be placed in some heavenly condition, some heavenly planet where he can fulfill his desires. And then he comes back again and he's given the opportunity to take birth in some aristocratic family or in some family, Brahminical family, and from there he takes up again devotional service. But this life, he will be very determined. Sometimes our service is casual. We are not very strong in our pursuit of Krishna consciousness. We take it a little bit casual. We like Krishna, we like to chant the holy name, but we also like many other things that are not in line with devotional service. Sense gratification, bhoga. Some devotees are attracted to Aishwarya. Some devotee thinks, I must have money, I must have a position. So these are material desires. And our endeavors to become Krishna conscious are slackened by these material desires. So we become very casual. So in this case, then we'll have to take birth again. So we have to be very careful. These opportunities given to us to actually put an end to our engagement in this material world, to understanding material nature, to understand what is material nature, how we have become entangled in this material world, and how we can become free from this entanglement. So everything is there. Krishna is giving us these transcendental literatures. He spoke Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna. He sends his representatives again and again. And if we are fortunate, Brahmanda Brahmite Kona Bhagyavan, Bhagyavan Jeev, Guru Krishna Prasade Pai, Bhakti Lata Beach. That we've been wandering in these Brahmandas, not only one, unlimited. We've been wandering from time immemorial. Then, somehow or other, by some sukriti, we come in touch with devotional service. We become in touch with Krishna consciousness. Now, this is the gift of the Lord. This is called causeless mercy. We don't know. We have no knowledge. When I came to India, I had no knowledge. I didn't know what was here for me. But I knew something is there for me. I had that desire in my heart. But I had no knowledge. I had no knowledge. Ignorant man. But by the causeless mercy of Srila Prabhupada, I was attracted. Not attracted, I was forced. Forced. Krishna sometimes drags you, you rascal, come back. Enough of that nonsense. Sometimes he does that. So Gurudev is like that. He arranges. I had no desire to come to Krishna consciousness. But I was wondering, when I was in India traveling, what am I doing here? Why have I come here? What is life? Why am I suffering? Why I have no money in my pocket? So all these Krishna is very kind. Sometimes he puts you in very difficult conditions simply to bring you back. So this causeless mercy of the Lord has manifested to all of us who are here today, hearing Bhagavad Katha. This is the causeless mercy of the Lord that we are here rather than in the club playing tennis and all those frivolous activities. We are here, to discuss, to try to absorb the teachings of the Lord so that we can become happy. The Mayavadis, they want to become happy by merging with the Lord. That is their goal. I want to be God. Great desire. Materialistic people, they want Bhoga and Aishwarya. Therefore, they engage in fruitive activities to try to achieve their goals. But Shastra says that the only true benefit, the only true reward of fruitive activities is what? The repetition of birth and death. That's all. That is the only tangible benefit that you get from engaging in material activities for Bhoga and Aishwarya, is that though you may be a very good man, though you may be a very charitable man, you'll be keeping going up and down like a yo-yo for the heavenly planets. You go up and you come down. You go up and you come down. Kshine punye martyalokam vishanti. You must come down to this planet of death. This is called Martyaloka. It's the planet of death. So once we are here, we have to die. There is no escape to that. But, Prabhupada said, a Vaishnava is not afraid of death. He's not afraid of that. Just like a little cat is not afraid in the mouth of the mother cat. A rat is very much afraid. But, Prabhupada said, that in the course of our life, before we actually come to the stage of giving up this material body, we should come to the stage of total giving up all material attachments. So then when we leave this body, we only have a little bag with our japamala, that's all. As light as possible. So we have this opportunity now. You're all young. I'm on my way out. I have a little more than a japamala. But I hope that Krishna gives me a few more years so I can give up also those attachments. The attachments are very powerful. They drag you down. They drag you down. So by the time we give up this body, and we don't know when that happens. Sometimes we think, oh, I'm a young man. I can live another 20, 30 years, 40 years. I am 71 now. With all due blessings to you, you may live 100 years, but there is no guarantee you will seize the 70th birthday. There is no guarantee. So we make so many plans. We have Krishna also, we go to Mandir, chant some japa, but then we go home, spend a lot of time with family, business, friends, distractions. All these things, all Maya is very powerful, very smart. She puts in front of us so many different jadus. So now, we have to become serious because birth is very serious. Death is very serious. Old age is very serious. Disease, very serious business. Yeah. Very serious business. So if we are not serious, that now by the grace of the Lord, we have come in touch with Srila Prabhupada, the pure devotees, the devotional activities. So we have to somehow or other absorb ourselves in these activities, chant the holy name very seriously, with great respect, with great attention, reverence, begging, always praying, prarthana. Prarthana means to pray. That's why we see all the great acharyas, they sing so many wonderful songs. Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Narottam Das Thakur. They are praying, always praying. We pray to Krishna. We pray to the acharyas. Please help me. Please help me. Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, there is a beautiful song. I'm not so sure it is Anadi Karama Phale or another one, in which he prays to the Lord, my dear Lord, I cannot make it on my own. I have no strength. I have no strength. Please, by your strength, control my senses. That is the most beautiful prayer I've ever encountered. That I have no strength. We have no strength, practically speaking. We have no strength. Maya is so stringent, so powerful. Our mind is running left and right on the object of the senses. It's very difficult. But, my dear Lord, kindly take charge. Do it for me. How he does it is up to him. How he does it is up to him. It's not that he just picks you up. Sometimes he puts you through some very difficult situation to break that attachment. Some serious disease, financial conditions, family breakage. We don't know. And the suffering may go on, but the devotees is always humble and meek, accepting whatever comes, knowing that whatever situation we are in, it is for our benefit. It is for our ultimate benefit of becoming free from this entanglement of the material energy that is so stringent. So the devotees always pray. The Bhagavatam's beautiful verse, Tatte Nukampam Susamikshaman, beautiful verse. Bhagavatam, so beautiful. If we study Bhagavatam, if we read Bhagavatam, there is so much pleasure and happiness in hearing how the Lord is, and the devotees reciprocates with the Lord, and how the Lord reciprocates, and how the devotees are always meek and humble in their miserable condition of life. They see that as an opportunity to surrender. And through that opportunity, through that situation, like in the material world, nobody likes to suffer. We always make arrangement to give up this suffering or to alleviate the suffering. But the suffering can never be alleviated because of our material attachments. We have to give up these material attachments. We have to give up this false ego of identifying ourselves with this material, mortal frame. It's not us. So though the devotees are suffering, they are not angry. People are angry when they suffer. They're angry to God, that they blame God. Why? Why me? But devotees are humble. My dear Lord, let me suffer, but I will not give up your service. I will not give up your service. No matter what you throw at me, no matter what suffering I go through, I know that suffering is the means to break my false ego. And he accepts that. And Bhagavatam says, Mukti Pade Sadhaya Bhak. Liberation has become his rightful claim to such a person. It is his rightful claim. And the time comes when we have to give up this body. Krishna takes care. Krishna takes care. So Bhagavatam, we have to come to this stage of giving up this material false ego, give up our enmity towards the Lord, this Ichcha Dvesha, this desire to enjoy and this envy towards the Supreme Lord. We have to give it up, chant Krishna's name, associate with the devotees, serve the devotees, and gradually our material disease will come to an end. And Krishna will reveal the true nature of the self, and we become self-realized. Then no more janma, no more mrityu, no more jara, no more vyadhi. Finished. Nice proposition, no? Nice proposition, beautiful. So what we have to do? In exchange to that mercy, simply to give up the cause of our miseries. That's all. To give up the causes of our miseries. That's all he's asking us. Jai Srila Prabhupada. Any questions?
My question is, in the past you've been to a place or a community or a temple where the people had a different set of beliefs or a different set of logics on Guru issue, on the position of Guru. And being an Indian, we have a lot of fascination for a European devotee.
That's your, that is your Maya.
So actually we were one family, one little family. So they been to temple, ISKCON temple, and they heard something about the Guru and tradition of Guru. So then when we come to know that these things, and we also educated him. Then the statement he made is, Prabhu, when we hear from them, we feel that they are correct. When we hear from you, we feel that you are correct. So, Prabhu, how to answer them and how to see the...
They are in ignorance. They are in ignorance. That's why they two pile of grass, one side and the other, you don't know which one to eat, and then you starve. Like the donkey, you know? You have grass on this side, grass on that side, which one should I eat? And with this, that side. It is because we have no knowledge. We have no knowledge. So we have to study Prabhupada's books. I came across, after many, many years, to amazing statements by acharyas. Because we always try to see the good side on everything. So sometimes I found myself to play devil's advocate. You know what that means? To find out, am I wrong? Because a devotee is introspective. He doesn't want to create trouble. He wants to understand the truth. What is the truth? What is the essence? What is the actually truth? We are not attached to this or that. We are attached to what is the truth. That is any intelligent debate among Vaishnavas is simply to churn out what is the truth, not to establish your own, like the Munis. Munis argue simply to establish their own concoction. But the Vaishnava, when he debates, he wants always to find out the truth. He's not interested in this or that. He's interested in the truth, what the Acharya wants, what Srila Prabhupada wanted. So he goes to other Acharyas also, Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami. What do they say? Is Nimai here?
Yes.
Nimai, I gave you that quote.
I will bring the mobile.
Bring the mobile. I don't have it in my mind. Beautiful quote of Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur. Beautiful quote. I read that. I feel so happy. I read Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's reply to a devotee who asked him these questions. Can a Kanishtadhikari be a guru? Can he give diksha? And Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami's reply was, who gave him the adhikar? He doesn't have the adhikar. Adhikar means the qualification. Now Kanishtadhikar, okay? This is what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said. The Kanishtadhikari. Now Kanishtadhikari is the lowest position in Vaishnava Samaj. But the quality of a Kanishtadhikari is that he is the perfect Brahmana in Varnashram. Are we qualified to even be a perfect Brahmana? Think about it. Are we qualified to be perfect Brahmana? Are we qualified to call ourselves Kanishtadhikari? Then he asked, what about the Madhyamadhikari? Can he be a Diksha Guru? He said, no. He can perform only the initial duty of Diksha. Initial duty. Give the Japamala, perform the Jagyas, give him the name. And then categorically states, only the Mahabhagavata can be a guru. So when you read something like this, what more praman do you need? Now they say, but it is not tradition, it is not in the Shastra. Guru always act within Shastra. Why is he giving instructions that are not in the Shastra? Bhaktivedanta Thakur, our Param Guru. Now listen to this. Now you come to your own conclusion. He says, devotees of the Supreme Lord are not controlled by the scriptures, since their activities are congenial to the divine wisdom. Therefore, when the self-realized devotee ordain any new arrangement, they should be agreed with as a religious code, even if such new arrangements are not found in the scriptural dictum of the previous sages. The above quotes are from Sri Tattva Sutra by Srila Bhaktivedanta Thakur, pages 191 to 204. I rest my case. Your Honor. Now you are the judge. You judge. I rest my case. I rested my case long back. I don't argue with anybody anymore. I am in Mayapur. I don't argue with anybody. I don't debate with anybody. Prabhu, you want to take initiation? Tom, Dick and Harry? I don't argue because there is no point. Because argument means what is the truth? If you're not interested in the truth, if you're simply interested in try to belittle my position and try to push forward your understanding, I have no interest. I'm done. I have my Guru Dev. You have your Guru Dev. Be happy. Be happy. So you read that person these quotes. actually ultimately is a question of the heart. Really is, everything is in the heart. Our attraction, repulsions. And there are so many good things that they do. They have beautiful temples, beautiful deities. They do Harinam, they distribute Prabhupada's books. There's so many in common things. And I associate, when I go to Mayapur, I associate with devotees sometimes. I stay to myself, but whenever there is an opportunity, I associate within what we accept that is common. Now Prabhupada has given us this wonderful opportunity. Prabhupada is very intelligent man. Prabhupada is so intelligent. Why would he, when I was the president of Bangalore, behind my desk, there was this little frame. In that frame, there was the registration of ISKCON Bangalore. I didn't know what it was, the importance of that. But somehow the previous temple president, I don't know, maybe Mahashringa, maybe Tattvadarshan, Gauranga, so many presidents were there. They framed it and put it on the wall. And it stayed there. That's Prabhupada's intelligence. He told Ansadutta, you establish a separate ISKCON Bangalore, a separate identity. Separate identity. Why did that? Now I realized. Now I realize why he did that. Now people will criticize us. People will scorn us. People will, mock us. Who cares? Who cares? We wish everyone well. We don't want to fight. Fight is happened. We all had our brunt. I had to fight a court case for 20 years. 20 years. But that's all right. Because again, a devotee sees every suffering as an opportunity. And all sufferings are actually a blessing in disguise. That we have to understand. That the devotee sees every suffering as a blessing in disguise. And he can understand that later on. In the beginning, you get overwhelmed. Oh, I have this problem. My God, I have to go to court. I have to do this. But in the end, you look back. Thank God. This happened. So devotees are not disturbed because the devotees of the Lord are simply after the truth. We are discussing the truth. Bhagavatam is Vidyam Vastavam Atravastu Shivadam Tapatraya Mulanam. Vastavam Vastu, the real reality. Really real. Vastavam Atravastu. We want the really real reality. We don't want the useless. We want the facts. And Bhagavatam is teaching that. So what are the facts about this guru business? Here we have studied already. Bhaktivedanta Thakur, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, Srila Prabhupada himself said so many times that only a Mahabhagavata can be guru. What more you want? So we are on the right path. We should not have any doubts about this. If we have doubts will continue. Doubts will continue. If in front of the evidence you still have doubt, what will convince you? No? Any more questions?
Something more about Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. What I know, Prabhupada, you also know. I was a young boy when I joined. I had no brain, still now. But I never asked him a question. Where is the Tadvidi Pranipatena? How did we relate with Prabhupada in those years? Prabhupada was traveling all over the world. Now they are saying, nowadays, this is another argument that devotees who have this living guru, that you must have pranipatena, pariprashnena, sevaya. You must have the guru to perform these activities. But if you have 50,000 disciples, how can that be possible? So how did Srila Prabhupada allow us to associate with him? How did he allow us to ask him questions? How did he allow us to render service? Now Prabhupada is not here physically, though he's in his murti, but you cannot ask him questions. Oh, you can. He may answer, he may not. He may answer in different ways. So how do we ask today here? As long as I'm faithful to Srila Prabhupada and I'm speaking what Prabhupada taught us, whatever question you ask me, you're asking him. I'm not saying anything on my own. I have no personal agenda. We simply repeat what the spiritual master gives us. So when Prabhupada was not there, what was our program? Mangalartik, chanting japa, Guru Puja, Bhagavatam class, Prasadam, go out. Distribute books, make life members, preach. Come back in the night, take a shower, take prasadam, evening artik, Bhagavad Gita, take some milk. Surround. While we were taking milk, we would read Krishna book. One devotee would read the Krishna book, lay out your chatai, and 3 o'clock in the morning, wake up like a lion. So that was the program, simple program. There's so much happiness, so much blessing, so much freedom, no anxiety. So we can do that. We are doing that now. I remember when I was trying to sleep, all people, the devotees would come, throw water on my face. Get up, Mangalartik. No Mangalartik, no Prasadam. So it was, at that time, was even more strict because there was some fanaticism, in a good way. Sometimes they were overzealous. They would kick you sometimes. So this program is there, a simple program given by the spiritual master. We are all his chelas. We are all living in the ashram of the spiritual master. And we have the temple president, we have the senior devotees who guide us, who make sure that we don't slip away from the program, encourage us. No, Nandu? So what wonderful program we have. So that what I receive from Prabhupada, you're also receiving. Prabhupada said that actually physical association with the spiritual master is very dangerous. It's better not to have physical association with the spiritual master. Why? Because he does what we are doing. He passes stool, he brushes his teeth, he's eating, his bodily functions are there. So we start thinking, what's the difference between me and him? You start becoming familiar. Familiarity breeds contempt. And we see that, unfortunately, in our history, that those who had very close association with Prabhupada, many of them were the cause of great destruction within his movement. So it is better to associate in separation. and follow his instructions. Then you are also associating with it. Prabhupada said, my physical association with my guru was 10, 12 times. From 1922 until 1936, where Srila Bhaktisiddhanta left. How many times Prabhupada had that physical association? But he took that instruction from the first day. First day, not after 5. First day. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta saw him and says, you are a young man, you are a devotee, take up this Krishna consciousness and preaches all over the world. And Prabhupada took that instruction very, very seriously. Thank God. So now we are all here. So you can see a white chamra. That you are so attracted to. But the Prabhupada did that. You're not wrong in one way. Because Srila Prabhupada did not get any response from the Indians. The Indians were not interested in Krishna consciousness. They didn't want to give their children. Even now I was talking to devotees that when a devotee, because they invest money, especially if you are educated. The father, they invest money on you, no? Then later on you bring back. that is their plan. It's not that they love you that much, all right? They love themselves more than they love you. But, they see you as an investment, okay? So they were not interested in Krishna consciousness. They were not. Prabhupada asked so many times, please give me one of your sons. I'll train him up to be a Brahmana. They all want engineers, doctors. At that time there was no IIT, so there were doctors and engineers. And business. That is. So Prabhupada was disgusted. And he went to the West and he brought back the white chamra. So that was attractive, like he said. He's right, he's not wrong. But what was Prabhupada's motive in doing that? To bring the Indians into Krishna consciousness. Because it is their natural tendency. The Indians have a natural tendency for tapasya. This is dharma bhumi, tapa bhumi. No matter what, if you go outside at 10 o'clock, you have to do tapasya. The heat is so intense, whether you like it or not. So India is meant for tapasya. And what is the greatest tapasya for a materialistic man? To give it up. To give up material enjoyment, to take up Krishna consciousness. It's a tapasya. In the beginning it is. But then, it is actually the greatest pleasure. So Prabhupada brought us here, the foreign devotees, and through them, the Indians became attracted, and now you're all here. And I was so glad and happy to see that most all of you are intelligent, educated. You had a great opportunity to make it in the material world. Good salary. Good salary means a good wife. Nowadays, if you know salary, I was lucky. I know money, but still was married. But here in India, your financial situation is very important. How much are you making? So, but you gave it up. The old bright-faced brahmacharis. So beautiful. Prabhupada is very happy. Very happy. Very proud. Very happy. Beautiful devotees who have given up their so-called material position to take up Krishna consciousness. This is what is wanted. And because of you, Krishna consciousness is flourishing. So this is the miracle of His divine grace. He brought dope heads like us. You know what a dope head is? Man who is always engaged in activities like smoking charas or all that stuff. That was our life before Prabhupada came. But he picked us up. At one point, Srila Prabhupada said, my mission is, my problem is that I'm trying to wash coal. Very difficult for a Westerner to become Krishna conscious. But Prabhupada did it. Why? Because Prabhupada could crush that coal and turn it into a diamond. It turned into a diamond. That is the miracle of Prabhupada. They asked Prabhupada, so many gurus have done this miracle, that miracle. What was your miracle? He was challenging Prabhupada. And Prabhupada looked around, he looked over all his white chamra and said, this is my miracle. This is my miracle. And it is a fact. How can you convince us from the West? Prabhupada came and he saw, oh my God, what a place. He wrote that poem, Ugrastan. My Lord, you brought me here. I don't know why you brought me. He was perplexed. Why you brought me here? This place is horrible. Who will listen to me? How many times Prabhupada went to the office to find out the boat back? I want to go back. Now let me try a little more. Again he went, let me try a little more. Just imagine what Prabhupada had gone through. But he succeeded because of the mercy of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami, Lord Chaitanya. He was supported by them. So here we are also. We are supported by His divine grace in our endeavor. So many beautiful temples, despite so much opposition. So much opposition. This the devotees had to go through. So they can be free to worship His divine grace, Srila Prabhupada, and not a conditioned soul. We want to worship the Acharyas. We want to worship the Mahabhagavata because this is Shastrik. It's not our invention. It is Shastrik. Like if you worship a stone thinking it's a Shalagram Shila, what is the benefit of that? You can put milk and nice, chant all mantras. It's just a stone. No, I'm not trying to minimize my God brothers, our God brothers. They have done so much service in the past. But on this point, I'm saying on this point, I cannot accept. That's it. Any other questions? Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. So, you mentioned about the false ego. How it's very difficult to overcome the false ego for a conditioned soul. So now, one of the aspects that you mentioned was about controlling. Being influenced by false ego, jivas have the tendency of lording over and controlling over other living entities. So now, in the course of performing services in an organization, each one of us will have some subordinates to guide or manage our affairs. So, to get the things done, by and large, that controlling tendency sneaks in. It's a nature. While we have to instruct, we have to
seeping some lording over tendency. So how do we manage our individual progress to overcome this lording over tendency and at the same time performing services where lording over is inevitable?
We call each other Prabhu. But we regard ourselves as what? Dasa. So we see everybody as Prabhu. But we are Dasa. The moment you think they are Dasa and I am Prabhu, that is the difficulty. That is the difficulty. That's how you overcome that false ego. That no matter what position you have, you are Dasa. And act like a new devotees come in, new bhaktas. You don't know who they are. Who they are. What advancement are they at the time that they join? We see some devotees, takes very long time to understand Krishna consciousness. But some people who just join, like Vishnu Jan, for example, or Jayananda. Prabhupada said he went back home to 3 years, 4 years. Prabhupada said he went back home, back to God. Vishnu Jan, within no time, he manifested so much. He was like a honey attracting the bees. Every time he opened his mouth, he sang. So many people would come and become attracted. So we have to see ourselves as we really are. That I may have a position in society, because you need a position. You are running an institution. You need a position. You need someone to lead. You need someone to follow. But you are leading. You are a leader Dasa. You are not a leader Prabhu. You are also leader Prabhu. But if you think they are my Dasa and I am your only Prabhu, then that's a platform of fall down. Then you start exploiting others. So we always have to see ourselves as Dasa. That is the safest position that we can have in any position, whether you are a GBC, temple president, temple commander, or whatever you are. Always be conscious of that. Always introspective. Never slacken on this point. Never think that, because the devotee of the Lord is not interested in validation, is not interested in respect, is not interested in being accepted or worshipped. He shies away from all these things. He doesn't want it. It's a botheration. It's a botheration. So a devotee is always meek and humble. So sometimes you have to chastise someone, but you chastise him with love. Prabhu, you're wrong. You're doing something nonsense. Without anger, without envy. So we can always remain Dasa, even in any position. Is it right what I said?
Yes.
So that is how we can live very freely in the association of devotees and without creating doubts and bad feelings. I've seen in ISKCON, with all due respect, I've been in ISKCON 50 years. Sometime, we used to call to be heavied out, to be chastising people, devotees with anger, resentment, with the desire to lord over. So manifesting the same materialistic qualities within the institution. So that can happen also. But then what happens? You create faction, you create doubts, you create enmity. Because some people can only tolerate so much. If you keep harassing somebody, sooner or later you get a reaction. No? So we have to chastise, like devotees, sometimes you chastise them because they may do something wrong. But you do it peacefully. You call somebody in your office, sitting down, Prabhu, this is the situation, this is not right. Don't make him feel, don't humiliate. Devotees don't humiliate anybody. You have to speak the fact. Again, the truth. What is the truth? We are attracted to the truth. What is the truth? Have you done something wrong? Let him explain. If a devotee is right, sometimes he may be right also. You may chastise him for no reason. No? It can happen. Sometimes he's right. When you have a wrong perception, so you think he's wrong, but he's right. So you let him explain. Bring him take him aside. Never chastise him in front of others. Never chastise devotees in front of others. Take him aside. Maintain that decorum, that love and affection. Yes or not? Then the devotees will be satisfied. They'll see, oh, Prabhu is very kind. He pointed out my mistake. He's giving me chance to rectify. That is Vaishnava relationship. Dadati pratigrinati guyam makyati prichati. Guyam means what? That you don't go and tell everybody's faults. Somebody comes to you and open his mind in confidence. Confidence, even in the material world, between doctor and patient or lawyer and there is the law of confidence. That you cannot tell people your problems. You have to keep it. Nowadays, everybody exploits everything. That's another thing. But among Vaishnava, we should follow that principle. That if somebody has a problem, you bring him, find out, whatever problem. He must be feeling confident that you will treat him fairly. That you will not utilize that weakness as against you or to control you. I'll give you an example. Many devotees have this sex desire. It's very difficult to deal with that, especially for brahmacharis. They have sex desire. So they go to the temple president. If you keep it inside, it burns from within. It burns from within and it destroys your devotion. So you go to the temple president and you explain. Prabhupada dealt with this very simply. Very simply. No big things. Prabhupada, I'm lusty. Get married. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed. It's perfectly fine. But if you use that against him, try to control him, then the devotee becomes discouraged. There are so many examples like that. So we have to give up the false ego, especially among devotees. So we have to be introspective. We have to be very kind to each other. Is that all right?
Yes.
So always remember, we are Dasa. Das was me. No Prabhu was me. You may call me Prabhu, but I am your Dasa. That's all. That is very beautiful actually. No? Jai Srila Prabhupada ki.